This tutorial is for 5th grade, Module 5, Lesson 2. In this lesson, we're going to continue looking at volume and the fact that volume tells us how many cubic units will fill up a shape. The directions for number 1 say shade the following figures on centimeter grid paper, cut and fold each to make 3 open boxes, taping them so they hold their shapes, and then pack each box with cubes. We're to figure out how many cubes will fill the box. Well, we're going to try and do this by visualizing what would happen if we did cut this shape out of centimeter grid paper. The gray part represents the base of the box. So we can see that there would be 4 cubes that make up the base. So we'll write that down, 4 cubes that make up the base. This piece here would fold up and make the side of the box. When it folds up, you could see that the box will have 2 layers. Well, if the first layer is 4 cubes, then the second layer would also hold 4 cubes. That means the total number of cubes that would fill the box would be 8 cubic centimeters. Let's look at another shape. This time, looking at the gray portion, I can see that there are 8 cubes that would make up the base, so I'll write that down. And again, this flap here would fold up and become the side of the box. And this flap also has 2 layers. So the second layer would also be 8 units for a total of 16. So there would be 16 cubic centimeters that would fill that box. When I look at my next shape, I can see that the base is a 4 by 4 array, and that means that there are 16 cubes that make up the base, 4 rows of 4. So I have 16 on the first layer. This flap will fold up and make the side of the box. This time, though, we have 3 layers. So if there are 16 cubes in the first layer, there will be 16 in the second layer and 16 in the third layer. Well, 16 plus 16 is 32, plus another 16 would be 48. So that means there are 48 cubic centimeters that would fill that box. In the next section, we need to look at the box and predict how many centimeter cubes would fit in the box. So this first one shows me that I have 4 cubes that make up the front half of the shape, and that there's another layer behind it. So if I have 4 in front, that means there'll be 4 in back. So there should be 8 cubic centimeters that fill this box. In the next shape, I see 4 that are on the base at the front, but then there's another layer. So in the front half of the shape, that would be a total of 8 units, 4 in the bottom, 4 in the top, and then there's a whole nother copy of that in the back, so there'd be another 8 in the back. So 8 in the front and 8 in the back would give us a total of 16 cubic centimeters to fill this box. And in my final box, I can see that the front half is made up of an array that is 4 by 5. 4 rows of 5 means that I would have 20 cubes that make up the front half of the box. There would also be 20 that make up the back half as well. So 20 plus 20 means that it would take 40 cubic centimeters to fill this box. So you can see how we are using logical reasoning to determine the volume of these boxes in this lesson.